me like that.
Field on that end, or it can be an even playing field. The man has 3 months to put something in a drink to kill the baby without harming her. Hey, I think it's
Whoa, whoa,
It's unalive. It's unalive.
what? I'm not even talking. I'm not even talking about. I'm
not
not even
like
talking about the
that.
word.
Like
I'm not even talking about
I'm
the K
talking about
word.
hypothetically. Hypothetically.
This is
Whoa,
You still
insane.
gotta say
Hold on.
unalive. You
I'm
can't say
talking
the K
about
word.
abortion. I'm talking about abortion. Like abortion is legal. We can speak about abortion on
We
TikTok.
can,
I'm talking
but
why
listen to what I'm saying, baby. You said the K word. All I'm simply saying is don't say that word because it would get
the K word. Okay.
you.
My apologies. My apologies. You know, I'm not TikTok savvy. Sorry. I apologize. Sorry, TikTok. Okay. Men cannot choose to abort the child within 3 months. So if they are going to allow women to abort the child, men should have a fair play in that game as well.
I
That's
think
all I'm
men,
saying.
I think
I
men
mean,
do
she got
have
a
a
point.
fair. Wait,
No, we
I do
don't.
think.
No, we
Hang
No,
don't.
on,
we
wait,
don't.
hang
No,
on,
we
wait.
They
don't.
don't.
Let
No,
me.
they don't.
Wait, can I?
Hold on. Let
No,
her
we
get it
don't.
out.
Can I speak? Because I ain't said nothing.
I'm so sorry,
Go
Fearless.
for it.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just saying. I was gonna let you finish. Go ahead and finish and land your plane, then I'll speak after you.
I
I
know.
still haven't landed my plane. But go ahead. I don't care. I just said what I had to say anyway.
No, I agree with you. But I'm just gonna call you Brownheart because I know you told Mick your name, but please forgive me because I forget names and I don't like mispronouncing people's names. I'm just
Hey,
gonna
call
call
me
you
anything
Brownheart.
but late for dinner, baby. It's all
No,
right.
no, no.
Call
I'm
me.
talking about I'm talking about the young lady at the bottom.
Oh,
That was
okay.
talking.
Yeah, she got a difficult one. Got a difficult.
That's why I'm just gonna call her Brownheart if that's okay. But all I was gonna say is men do not because they don't have a say so if a woman decides she wants to unalive her child. Even though he helped create that child, which I find to be a crock of shit, excuse my language, because
He did create that child.
let, let me just give you a quick example. If let's just say the woman, y'all decide, okay, before y'all had the sex, y'all have a conversation. We neither one of us want kids, but we know condoms break. We know birth control is not 100% effective. Okay, y'all go ahead and do that. You took precautions, but that condom broke. Y'all discussed that you didn't want any kids, both of you. Now, said woman's pregnant, and now because some women once they hear the baby's heart, they change their minds, and that's their right to do so. But now it's like, okay, I don't want to get rid of the kid. I want to keep the kid. Or if they decide, okay, the man might change his mind and say, oh well, I still want the kid, but she doesn't. It don't matter what that man says. She can still go and get that child unalived without the man's consent because it's her body, her choice. But if he decided that he didn't want it and she still wants the child, he's still obligated. So men do not have a choice or a say when it comes to unaliving. They do not. I don't know where you got that from, but they don't.
And real quick, I wanted to land the plane real quick on the other subject. Sweetheart, we are a system governed by the people. We vote for the people that make the laws. So if you are complaining about the laws so much, I'm a firm believer, get out and vote. Not just the presidential elections, every single one. I vote every single time. That's
Yeah,
our right. And if you choose not to use that right, that's on you, my baby. And if you are so adamant about changing laws, encourage voting.
I
Period.
yeah, I encourage voting on a county, state, like local level as well. So thank you for making that point because I think that that's where we can actually implement proper change. What I was saying about like a man has like a man does have a decision whether or not he walks out of that kid's life. It's true, right? Nobody's forcing you to sign a birth
The government
certificate.
forced them to take
Nobody.
care of their kids,
Wait. Because nobody's forcing you to sign a birth certificate. Nobody's holding you hostage and making you sign a birth certificate. I think ultimately that's where a man's power comes in because that's where really it's determined or not. So I don't think that any man like who's going out and I think honestly, realistically, nobody should be having kids unless they know exactly who they're having kids with, right? But that just comes down to, hey, we need more actual like education in schools. We need more education in our homes. But if you don't sign the birth certificate, you are not responsible for that kid legally
that is
speaking.
why.
Hold on,
Yes,
hold
you
on,
are.
hold
If
on,
you get
hold
a
on. Wait,
paternity
wait,
test,
wait,
you are
wait. Hold
responsible.
on for a second. Hold on for a second. That isn't entirely true because even if a father did not sign the birth certificate, the way the system is set up in some states, a mother can pick a name out of a hat, and the bill will start rolling until that man can prove otherwise.
Can we say
So,
amen?
He could be made father by default.
And you
yes.
ready for this one too? Now, in some states, even if you signed your rights away, you still got to pay child support.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You still got to
I don't see how you can
The thing
speak on
is,
something of the
so
sort if you don't have kids and you don't experience what everybody else experiences and goes through. You're just reading what Google has or what degrees you may have and so for whatever not. But don't put yourself in shoes of women and men that actually have to go through this on a daily basis
Let me.
and actually have to live
But
through
I
it
don't,
because
Lydia.
you're completely wrong.
Lydia,
Just saying.
with all due respect, I think that that's such a bogus argument to make against me. I'm
So it's
sorry.
not. Experience
I'm
is
sorry if I
everything.
didn't have children because I know that I
Can I
understand.
You
piggyback
have
off
not
Miss Philly?
experienced. I said if you are not,
Please, King.
if you have not experienced,
Yeah, because I don't
We're
want
not
to
knocking
experience
you
you
for
that.
too.
it.
No, Tiffany, let me
Hey,
speak because I'm not trying
I
to get
haven't
all
even been
upset because
able
I
to
already don't
speak.
have
I
a
feel,
voice. If it at the
Come
end of
on,
the day,
y'all.
what I'm
Come on,
saying,
y'all.
can you tell me what child labor feels like if you've never went through child labor? Can you tell
child
me what it
labor
feels
or
like to?
laboring for a
I'm not
child.
done. Can you
I
tell
was
me what
speaking
it
and you
does, what it
interrupted
takes to
me.
potty train a child? If you haven't potty
I
trained a
can
child,
tell you,
niece or
I have
nephew,
potty
can
trained
you tell me
children. I
what
have
it feels
younger
like to get up at
siblings.
2 a.m. and feed a child that's crying? If you've never had to do it,
No,
can you tell me what it feels like to go to court
Lydia,
and get child support if you never had to do it? So what I'm saying is you can't expect people to connect with you in an area you have no experience in.
okay, so I think, okay, realistically, that argument did nothing for me. I respect your opinion. However, I just think that doesn't
Anything for
make
you.
any
Stop
sense.
trying to use your degrees on the panel of people that you don't even freaking know and connect with. At the end of the day, you're young, so you don't even know. I'm pretty sure
I'm
everybody
actually
up
a
here is
grown
older than
woman.
you,
I'm a
except
grown
for
woman.
Nene.
I'm a grown
You
woman.
could be a grown woman, but
I'm
that don't make
27.
you a
I'm a
wise
grown
one. That
woman.
don't make you an experienced
It makes
one.
me a
I can be
completely
in
wise
love,
one
but that
because I
don't make me
didn't.
happy. I
Hold
can
on,
be
wait.
happy, but I ain't in love. I can be lonely, but not alone.
What?
So at the end of the day,
Wait.
it's on both sides of
I'm
the sword,
confused.
sweetie.
I'm confused. I'm not demon. I feel like what's being said to me here is completely entirely unfair. I'm sorry if I saw that the system works entirely against.
you are Lydia. We're not gonna do this today, Lydia. Let's not do this today because I just went and looked at her profile and it says delusional girl
Oh
headquarters
no, that.
from the red.
I already seen it.
We not gonna waste our time
That part.
today.
Hold,
We're not gonna
hold
waste. We're not gonna
on.
waste our time today.
Can I not have like a
We
funny
not.
bio?
Okay.
I'm so confused. Okay, wait. So let's get this straight. If we fully understand that this legal system is flawed at its core with regards to families, right? And we understand that family planning in this country is entirely messed up.
They're
And
going
we
by numbers.
understand
We're going
that
by
people are
life
having children.
experience.
Hang on, wait. And
Hold on a minute. Just let her finish.
I can't, yeah, thank you. And we understand that having children in this family is difficult. I've never once downplayed that. I've never once tried to take away from someone's experiences. I think, if anything, I'm a good example of like keeping my legs shut and not having children when I'm not married because I don't want to deal with the horrors of the system. I think I'm proud of myself. I think that I've actually chosen to wait to start a family with someone. I think that that's fair, but that's also a privilege. Like, I'm sitting here saying
Okay,
it's a privilege.
Well, I
The
can say
privilege
that
is
I
a
was
okay, we're not.
responsibility.
You're
Everybody.
not
my
having
children
children.
are
We're
11
saying
and I
that
was
you
married to
can't.
their father 14 years, sweetheart, and they're 20 and 18. So high five to you. You are so classy. High five. Good job. Keep up the good work.
But
Okay,
Lydia,
but we're not
didn't your
saying.
sister Lydia? Hold. Lydia, just to counter her point, you were married. You had kids with your husband. It
Exactly.
didn't work out, and you still had issues, right? It won't because you just opened your legs before you were
It's,
married. You had kids while you were married, and I think that's the thing you're missing, Brown Heart. It's not just ground to single women, because when you get married and you open your legs to your husband, which the Bible says that's who you're supposed to wait for, there's still issues. So I think I understand. I think if you take the time to just listen to what Lydia's saying, she's not saying anything derogatory for you. It may be aggressive, but that's how she and Mick talk. I think you just have to understand, because you're not experienced. You've never had a child. And that's all she's saying. You have no experience when it comes. Let me finish because I didn't interrupt you. You have no experience when it comes to raising a child. You have no experience when it comes to going into labor with a child. That's all she was saying. But for you to
Yeah.
counter that and say, "Oh, well, I decided to change. I decided not to, do this and that and plan." That's all fine and good. I tip my hat off to you for that. But it's like you singled out just single women when it happens to married women too.
No,
Things don't always work out the way you plan.
I
even in a
agree.
mix.
And
Yeah, but
Lydia
I agree.
happens to
Wait,
be a married woman that had 2 kids
She,
by a
while
unfit
she
wait,
was
because
married.
I never once. Okay, so yeah, I understand that I made that comment snidely, because I feel like I'm being my whole entire premise of my argument had nothing to do with whether or not you're married when you have kids. I made that comment because I'm a bitch, and you're being kind of rude to me. However, I'll admit that, but realistically, my argument really came down to we don't have support systems for family units, and that's an objective fact. We don't encourage people to stay together as a family. That's an objective fact, right? Men are not getting their rights because of the legal system, not because of women necessarily, right? But because people are
Yes,
misusing
because
the
of
legal
women.
system.
By not telling them anything. And then what happens? They go out into the world and they learn what they need from the world instead of us. That's not right. Aziza, what are you talking about? What are you correcting me on? Like, what is there to correct? This is my perception. This is my perspective. Thank you so much for the follow. See, this, okay, this is my thing, right? I don't even know how to say this without being offensive, but what sense does it make for us to have an entire organization, government, of people that are supposed to be running things and keeping things in order, yet we have issues like, I don't know, tons of toxic chemicals running into the Bay water or Flint? Or how about all those children that were lost during that little siege that Trump took? And don't say it wasn't a siege, because he straight up kidnapped people. We're letting this shit happen. Like, literally, people are watching this shit happen, and no one's doing anything. They're on TikTok dancing. They're on YouTube watching videos about how to make a fucking door jamb not creak anymore. Like, no one is actually caring anymore. And that's the part that gets me boggled, because it's like, once it reaches your doorstep and you don't know what to do, that's when these same people that have been calling people like me a conspiracy theorist are gonna be, we need help! We need help! Someone help us! No! I gave you help. I told you what to do. I told you to stock up. I told you to be weary. I told you to pay attention to every single detail you see on the news, because they're not telling us the truth, but they are giving us hints to the truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? They'll tell us stories about stuff and leave out, like, things here and there. There's a war going on right now, and we're being told just the slither of what's going on. It's not just physical shit that's going on. There's some real spiritual shit happening that they know about, that they're not telling no one, because there's people all over the world, like some people in these comments, that would rather believe writing from a man's pen. You'd rather believe writing from a man than to believe your own 2 eyes, than to believe your own 2 ears. You'd rather believe that? So you mean to tell me, I don't know if anyone remembers this. Do you guys not remember when the sky was red? Every movie is a message. Oh my God. Why don't people get it? They don't make movies for our entertainment just to make us like, no, listen, okay. I mean, think about the word entertainment. Literally. Entertainment. Entertainment. They detain you so they can enter into you all of the fucking things that they want you to process and think about. That's why it's called television programming. They're programming your mind to think a certain way, to have a certain perspective, so that when these things come about, you won't be fazed by it. Because you've been exposed to this. You don't know this, but you've been exposed to this. Whether it be consciously or subconsciously, it's gotten to the point where people are even dreaming about these things. Oh, and they're doing that too. They're starting all of these new campaigns where they're straightening up their signals so they can literally send signals to our brains in ads while we sleep. How do I know? I had a few ads playing when I was asleep.
And he already created. here to assist. What? But you're the one that pushes life out your womb, but you want to be part of a religion that don't recognize you? Second class citizen at best. Anytime you find, study to show yourself approved, a workman. Anytime you hear man, this is purposely done. And y'all try to throw yourselves in there. Well, he's talking about us too. Why do you think he's talking about y'all when he's very, very specific? He said the daughters of God one time in the Bible. Get a concordance and look up how many times you ever seen daughters of God. And then compare it to how many times you see sons of God. Why do you think the God of the Bible killed the firstborn sons in Egypt? Because the girls didn't matter. And it's still being practiced today in places like China, India. Girls don't matter. Where did this idea come from? And y'all the one that pushed life out of you? And you gonna tell me, oh, you the devil, and I'm trying to tell you I'm for you. Your book ain't, and the God in that book ain't for you, unless you close a blind eye. That's what you...
I don't understand how you have the audacity to do me like that. You want me to honor your motherfucking ass. Tired, you coward, low down, pussy ass nigga. See, I never thought that I have a husband like you until I met you. And you think I'm gonna allow your ass to just move out? And she don't even give a fuck about you. You see, she took all your money. She took all your money and ran off. But I'm the one who married you. But you thought she was better than me? You thought she was better than me? You really thought she was better than me, huh? She took all your money. And you think you're gonna come back to me? You really think you're gonna come back to me and think we're gonna live this life again?